Simple coaching conversations can really improve the quality of the conversations we're having and therefore the outcomes that are achieved. So coaching approaches can do this by increasing an individual's choice and control, and also really encourages them to take responsibility. One popular coaching framework is the TGROW model. So essentially this is a way of structuring a conversation that you're having with an individual. Ultimately the aim is to really increase their awareness for the situation and what's going on. Following on from that, and by doing that we can increase their responsibility, and therefore they're more likely to take part in conversations to find solutions that are really going to work for them. Within the TGROW model, the T stands for topic, and essentially this is the broad area that the individual being coached, so the coachee, wants to cover and focus on during that conversation. So the rest of the TGROW conversation follows the traditional GROW framework, which is the goal for the conversation, the reality that that individual's currently experiencing, the options, so that's exploring the options that they might take, and then finally we've got the will and the wrap up for how they might be moving that forwards. So it's these different stages that we're going to be exploring in this film.
The purpose of the topic is to understand the context of the conversation in relation to the coachee. The topic section simply helps give the conversation a generic subject a focus. It also provides a great opportunity to build rapport with the coachee ahead of the main conversation. Questions can also be asked at this stage. For example, how are you doing? What's on your mind? Or what would you like to talk about today?
So the purpose of the goal stage within TGROW is to define a relevant and controllable outcome for the session. So it's really important to remember within goal stage that the goal is not the overall goal that the person might want to achieve with their health or well-being. It's the goal within that specific conversation. So what do they want to achieve by the end of the conversation with you? So for example, this might be some clarity over a situation that they want to discuss with you during the session, during the conversation, or they might want to make an action plan on how to take things forward. So let's think about some questions that you might like to ask within the goal stage of TGROW. What is your expectation for this conversation? How would you like to feel about this situation by the end of our chat today? You could ask, what would you like to achieve by the end of this conversation?
The purpose of reality when working with someone is to help them develop an increased awareness and gain a greater understanding and perspective of their current situation, but also to take some responsibility by exploring and challenging and confirming that current situation. By exploring reality, it encourages the individual to look at what's happening for them now, at the moment, compared with what it is they say that they want. And this creates something called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the discomfort felt when exploring the conflict between current behaviour and the desired outcome. So this can encourage people to want to alter existing attitudes, behaviours, in line with what it is that they say that they want. So some questions you might like to ask at the reality stage include things such as, so what's happening for you now? What have you tried before? What's worked or hasn't worked well for you in the past? Where are you now in relation to where you want to be, to your goal? And what resources, what things do you have available that can help you at the moment?
In the options section, the health coach would enable the person to come up with as many ideas or suggestions as possible in order to achieve their chosen goal. It is important that you encourage the individual to come up with their own ideas rather than you suggesting or giving ideas. The person is less likely to argue with their own suggestions or resist their own ideas.
Questions you might want to include at the options stage include, what have you done before? And what could you do? Or what are some of the approaches you might take?
If the person is struggling to come up with options, it might be that you need to go back to the reality section and explore that a little bit more, and then come back to the options section again.
The purpose of the will wrap up stage of the TGROW model is to ensure the coachee can commit to an agreed plan, a way forwards. If at this stage it becomes clear that the coachee cannot commit or is unmotivated, then it is worth revisiting the options stage to try and find a more realistic way forwards. Questions that you might like to ask at this stage would be, what options have you to take this further? When are you going to start? On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to take this forwards?
The TGROW model is a really good tool for you to use in the course of your day-to-day work to have better conversations with the people that you're coming into contact with. It allows you and enables you to have a semi-structured conversation. It also enables the person that you're talking and having a conversation with to really explore in more detail what's happening to them and what matters to them. And this is a really flexible model. There's no right or wrong way of doing it really, but you will get better the more that you practice with friends and family, practice with colleagues, use it in team meetings as a way to explore and develop your work. I'd urge you to use these tools, test them out with your friends and family, get some feedback from them, see how the conversation went for them, and the more you practice, the better that you'll get.
So go out there and give it your best shot. Good luck!